Hi guys, Dave with the First Place Auto Parts, and it doesn't matter if you have a classic American muscle car or truck or even a late model daily driver. At some point in time, you're either going to have to put tires on that thing or you're going to want to put tires on that thing. And in today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the sidewall of the tire so that you can better understand what's on your vehicle now and maybe what you want to buy for it later on. Maybe you want to go up on size, but you want to keep the same diameter of tires so you don't mess up that speedometer. Or maybe you want to find out how old your tires are. And in today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to tell you how to read both of those numbers on the sidewall of your tire. Look, sidewalls have got a lot of information on them. The important stuff is what we're going to talk about today. So today we're talking tires and how to read your sidewalls so you're a better informed consumer and you know what's on your car. So when it comes to tires, two things that were really important that's printed on the sidewall of the tire. The first one's going to be the size, and the second one is considered, or what's called the TIN, the T-I-N, or the tire identification number. The size, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. We know, as most car people do, that there's certain width and heights of tires. But what we're going to find on a passenger car tire is the letter P before that, and that stands for P metric, or what is commonly known as passenger car, and that means it has passed certification in the United States to be considered a passenger car tire. The second number, well, that's going to be the width of the tire, and that's how wide the tire is from tread block to side to tread block. That next number that you're going to see, that's called the aspect ratio. Say you have a 335/50 20-inch wheel. That 50 means in the middle that the sidewall height is 50% as tall as the tire is wide. Now in the case of a 335/50, it would have a very short sidewall. Make that tire a 335/75, that aspect ratio gets bigger, and that means now that the sidewall is 75% as tall as the 335 centimeters across, and it would be a taller sidewall. So typically that middle number, when it goes down in size, you're going to see the sidewall height go down in size as well, but it's all dependent on how wide the tire is.
After your aspect ratio, you may find a letter such as an H, an S, a Z, or a V. In this case, it's a Z, which means it's speed rated at 150 miles an hour or above of continued driving.
Finally, the third number is going to be the diameter of the wheel. So you have a 335/40/20. That means that you've got a 335 tire that's width. It's a 40 aspect ratio tall, and it's on 20-inch wheels. Now look, when you want to increase the size of your wheel, and that's called +1, or maybe you want to go up two sizes from a 15 to a 17, that's called +2 in the industry, you want to try to maintain the same diameter, outer diameter on the tire. What that does is a lot of things. It keeps the speedometer correct, it keeps the gear ratio within spec, but it also helps to keep the actual diameter of the tire, especially if you have a late model vehicle that has that uses electronic sensors to measure the speed. And there's a lot of calculators that are available online for you to figure out the overall tire diameter, but again, it does come into play with your speedometer reading and also your gear ratios, which can affect the way your car performs. And then the second number is that TIN, or T-I-N number, the tire identification number. There's going to be a string of numbers that the DOT makes the tire manufacturer put on that, so if something were to go wrong or they had a lot of bad tires, like they did with the Firestone tires back when they had the Explorer issue, they would be able to identify the lot number, the manufacturing facility, and also the location where these things were made. The two numbers at the end of that TIN number is what's important to us as car owners. Say you bought a used vehicle and the tread looks great, but the tires show some dry rot or some cracking on the sidewall. Those last two numbers on the end of that TIN number will tell you the year that those tires were manufactured. Now look, if you buy a new set of tires from your local tire store, it's not uncommon to see a date of manufacture that may be a different year than the year you're buying them. It depends on how long those tires have been in inventory. But typically after 4 to 5 years, you really want to start to look at those tires, because tires can wear, not just the tread wearing, but also from the atmosphere. So one of the things you want to pay attention to, not only when you buy your new tires, make sure they're within a year or so of the manufacturer date from when you put them on, but also when you buy a used vehicle and you have no idea how old those tires are. Like I said, they can look good, but if they're dangerous, if they're over 4 to 5 years old, that number on the sidewall, you want to make sure that you replace those things. Make sure you have tires that are within 3 to 4 years old max. After that, you really want to start thinking about replacing them. Tires are an incredibly important part of our vehicle. Like, they have everything to do with safety, to traction, to how they perform, and even how they ride. When it comes time to change them out, keep today what we talked about in mind and make sure you get the right ones for your car. Look, you can go larger, you can go wider, you can go actually lower profile. Just know what those numbers mean. And if you're buying a used set of tires or you buy a vehicle that already had tires on them, check those DOT manufacturer's dates. Make sure they're within the range, within 3 to 4 years of the current date, because that's going to have everything to do with how reliable those things are and how safe they are to drive on. When it comes time to buying restoration or performance parts for your American muscle car or late model car or truck, please check us out at First Place Auto Parts. There we have everything you need to make your car go faster, make it look better, or make it stop harder. Guys, I appreciate you watching this video today. And until next time, keep the hammer down and keep it between the guardrails.